You're gonna have to do me a big favor. Can you post it to your IG live so I can record it?
What do I do?
After post it to IGTV so I can record it. So all right, guys, so welcome. Here's my stink for the night. It's the interview with I know Shiloh. Shiloh, I know her. You don't. You might. You do today. All right, guys. So welcome to the Degenerate Sessions on YouTube, Being the Elite on Instagram. I'm your host, The Twos, and my guest is the one and only Shiloh. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm glad we got that sorted for everyone that joined from my live. We were trying to go live on his Instagram, and it was not. It just wasn't working. So we switched it up, and now, here we are. So there you go.
It was definitely difficulty. I had a with Instagram, and I'm going to be calling the owner. Do you know who that is? Because I know. All right, so let's go into it. Wrestling, your wrestling career. Go right into it. How you began, what year you began, if you can, whatever details you can, and then we'll go from there.
Cool. So I started wrestling. I feel like it's closer to 3 years ago now. I started training about 3 years ago. Originally, when I first started, I was super new to wrestling in general. I didn't really, I didn't watch wrestling growing up like a lot of people that I train with and people that I work with now. So it was kind of different because, for most people, this is something that they pursue because it was like a lifelong dream. But I actually was 31 when I started training, and I watched a pay-per-view. It was SummerSlam. I got super hyped on it, and almost immediately I was like, I want to be a wrestler. So started training, and then everything just kind of took off from there.
Which SummerSlam?
It would have been 2 summers ago. Not last summer, but this summer. No, it would have been not last 3 summers ago, maybe. Okay.
It wasn't Toronto, was it? No, that was Survivor Series.
No, it was the same year that Charlotte ended Asuka's streak. It was the same.
Oh, okay, yes, I remember that. Yeah. Was that the match that got you booked?
Well, it was it was actually the New Day that I was kind of holding my head in disbelief. What is this ridiculous? What is going on? Why does that guy have a trumpet? Not even, and I'm half drunk and I'm watching this go down and I am having the greatest time of my life. And afterwards, I kind of connected the dots because, I come from a music background and like most people, I like to be entertained, and wrestling is this cool sort of mashup of all these different kinds of entertainment. So I was surprised I had never those paths had never crossed before, but so it was. And then, so it is now, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. Music, wrestling, stuff like that. They definitely cross. They intertwine. So different, but so alike. It has everything. It has costumes. It has fireworks. It has music. It has drama, action, all of it. So the drama. I love the drama. Yeah. The storylines are incredible.
Yeah.
So tell us about your first match. Emotions running through you before you went through the curtain. Who was your opponent? I know a couple things. I'm not going to spoil it. I'm going to let you know.
So my very, very first match was super short. It was in Barrie Wrestling with Jody Threat, and I was I was terrified. I was so scared, but Jody's super sweet, and she was probably the best person I could possibly have my first match with. But I went out. It was an open challenge for her title. She's the first women's title holder in Barrie.
Okay.
And she was undefeated at that point, and nobody knew who I was, but it was super funny because she gets on the mic and she issues the open challenge, and the first thing somebody in the crowd does is tell me to go home, and everyone's laughing, and I'm like, oh my God, they want me to go home, even though they're supposed to want me to go home. And it was really scary, but afterwards, it was kind of a surreal experience, but it was cool.
That is crazy. How was the match inside the ring? What were you feeling? Did you get comfortable right away, if you can talk about that? And any details you can talk about.
I don't even know if I'm ever fully comfortable even now, because I get anxious because this is important. I love wrestling and it's important to me, and I want to do a good job. So I'm always a little bit on edge, but I feel like everything happened so fast. And like I said, it was a really short match, but Jody was great about letting me get my stuff in and making sure that I wasn't being super new and like rushing or doing anything like that. So I just kind of went with it, and I went backstage and I was like, okay, how is that? You know, like, how did I do? And everyone's like, we don't know. That was like a 2-second match. Shiloh, we're back here. So, you know, it was cool. And like, I'd actually, my first indie show was Smash Wrestling here in London. And I actually went to this show because when I decided I wanted to train, I found the school, which is Tyson Dux Wrestling Factory, where I train. So I didn't follow indie wrestling. I didn't know who he was, and I didn't know anything about if he was qualified to teach me to wrestle. Like, so I did a bit of research, found Smash, went to the show, and Jody was actually in that show. Okay. Yeah, she really stood out to me. So it was really cool. Like, you know, about a year later, I was standing in the ring with, you know, one of the girls that I saw in my first, you know, indie match or indie show. So
that is awesome. So how about Smash? I live in Toronto as well. I want to go to Smash. I haven't been. I'm not going to be one of those guys that tells you that I've been to Smash. I haven't. I hear a lot of things about it. I have worked with Destiny towards the end, on a couple of shows, and it's crazy because I didn't know that was your beginning of your journey. I'm not going to lie to you, and that was kind of the beginning of my journey. So, like, and you probably saw that, like me coming with the page, obviously, and trying to grow, and that was my ultimate goal, right? I wanted to be involved in wrestling, and you just gave me like a little bit of inspiration. That's why I'm telling you this, that you started late and it's working out for you. I'm not going to be screwed, but I might start training. You kind of inspired me.
I love that.
But once you said the age, and I'm near there, I'm 34. Whatever.
I'm 34 now. This was a bit ago, so we're on the same page here. Yeah.
You're in 86?
Yeah.
Me too. Awesome. So yeah, I might jump in, and I definitely want to do interviews and announcing and commentating. So thank you for sitting with me. But yeah, you gave me the inspiration. I might start training. I'm not gonna lie. But let's go into Smash, because I can talk about me for.
Sure. So what do you want to know? What like to
about training, if you can. No spoilers. I'm not here to put anybody on blast. Any things you can, matches you competed in. Your training details in your training. I like to know details about training. I'm so into the wrestling world. I'm one of those crazy fans. Not like that sense stuff. But I love routine, and I love the production and everything. And I'm sure you do too, since you were so fascinated with it and you joined the industry, right? So try to talk to us about any details, because I'm not familiar with Smash. So
Smash Wrestling is a sort of elite promotion. It's a really, really great group of guys with a lot of talent, and I think that most people from the area are familiar with what they do. Tyson Dux, when he opened the wrestling school, it was shortly before I started training. So when I first made my declaration to be a wrestler, I was met with hesitance from the person I was actually watching the SummerSlam with. They were like, Shiloh, even if you want to be a wrestler, you're not going to find anything around here. We're in London. Like, there's nothing here. But coincidentally, Tyson had just opened the school. Now, Tyson is a main guy at Smash. They've been working together for a really long time. So when he opened the school, it's been a really great opportunity for us as trainees, because he allows us to do we do the dark matches and things like that. So we're doing pre-show and stuff like that as an opportunity as part of our debut, which is, I mean, the training we get is unparalleled to any other training you're going to get. I truly believe that Tyson is the best trainer around.
Okay.
And because of that, like he works us really hard, and we end up ready to open for a show that big. So that's really, really cool. You know, it's a lot of work, but at the end of the day, like, man, everybody I was training with was like 20, and I was like, at the time I was like chain smoking and binge drinking, and I was overweight, and like, yeah. And then I just went like full tilt, because I loved it so much. So I'm like, and I just kind of, I gave up on like a lifestyle that I had for so long, and this is it now. So it's done a lot of really great things. Even if for some reason, if I couldn't wrestle again, right now, my life is exponentially better because of it. So So it's pretty cool. A lot of work, but it was worth it. And you have somebody sort of breathing down your neck to make sure you stay in line, which is sometimes people need that. So
yeah. Well, we hear a lot about that. Not too many positive things going on right now on Twitter. But, to know that there is, like I saw something on Twitter, all men need to change. No, not all men need to change. We're not all like that. Just because you have a name, you shouldn't be treating people like that. But they're getting exposed. So I got to meet this guy.
Definitely. Tyson's a class act, yeah.
I want to come up to you guys live, 100%.
Definitely.
So into indie wrestling, I backed away from wrestling in the early 2000s, a little bit about me. And I got back into it. And then once I made this page, it started growing, and I found all you guys and the support you guys gave me. Made me feel like I could do it, right? Like sometimes you need that push, and you've been there since day one, so thank you for that. So going to some of your favorite wrestlers. So some of your favorite wrestlers, guys, girls, Mixed Max, Tag Team, Hell in a Cell, Stadium Stampede. What's some of the matches you'd like to have? And go wild here with who you want to compete with in the matches.
So, like, when it comes to, like, a dream match, like, I think it's kind of a tough question because I'd like to wrestle different people for different reasons.
You can do as many as you want.
Yeah, like, I'm a big Jericho fan, and I've been introduced to a lot of the older stuff. And one thing that I think is really important to keep in mind is just based on when I became involved in wrestling, when I started watching wrestling, there is so much stuff that I am just so ignorant to. Even if I watched wrestling every waking moment from when I started, I wouldn't be anywhere near, what's available because it's been, there's such a rich history and things like that. So I do what I can to try and be as educated as I can, given the amount of time that I've been doing this. But I've trying to watch the old stuff. Like I enjoy Jericho a lot. Who doesn't? And I think that, he's such a fantastic mixture of wrestling meets entertainment. Like, and I think that there's a lot of really good technical wrestlers. There's a lot of really entertaining characters, and there's like this Venn diagram where you have them, and then there's this little section right in the middle, and that's where every wrestler wants to be. Yeah. And I think he just lives there, and then he like brings people in there and holds them there while he wrestles with them and brings them into that little bubble where he kind of lives. And that's something that I'd like to be a part of. I'm a huge Kenny Omega fan. It was one of the first times, like, watching Kenny Omega was like one of the first times where in my head I kind of went, okay, everything that he's doing makes, first of all, complete sense to me, but it all looks so effortless. Like, nothing felt stupid or nothing felt out of place or nothing. It just all seemed to make sense. And to me, I mean, I think that's just that just goes to show how good he really is, that you don't even know how good he is because of how effortless he makes it look. And that's like, I could probably have a 5-star match with him and I wouldn't even, have to do anything. So those are the.
You've been in wrestling for 3 years and you have this good of an understanding about it.
I try to
I'm telling you, I've been watching wrestling my whole life. I've had matches with my friends and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Stuff. Am I experienced as wrestlers? No, but you have a lot of knowledge. And I'm not just tooting your hoot here. You have a lot of knowledge on characters and where you need to be and where you need to get to. And
thank you.
Wrestlers today don't even understand that. So, like, you have an advantage. Don't ever think just, like, because of an age. No. You, sitting here listening to you explain that to me about Jericho and Omega, you're completely right. Jericho right now is the best. I'm not saying in ring. He's older. Entertainment-wise, best in the world. He lives in that bubble.
Yeah.
Omega, I completely agree with you. He makes it look. He looks like he's killing people. He's not here. That effortless. You're completely right.
And I think that, I think part of that, there's a lot of disadvantages to starting older, especially starting out of shape and not understanding. Like, when I first started training, I didn't even really know what the difference between a heel and a face was. Like, I didn't understand match structure, and even people that have been fans for their whole lives, like, you watch the stuff and you absorb this history and you pick up on things that you wouldn't, that take time to sort of, that take time to understand. And I was just oblivious to all that. So now I try and relate wrestling to the things that I do know and I do have a better understanding on. Like I was saying before, I come from a musical background, and I think that there's a lot of parallels there and things that I relate to the music industry and entertainment. And I know as a new wrestler and as somebody who hasn't been in the industry that long, when I watch a match, I can't completely fixate on the moveset. I can't completely fixate on what they're doing. I need to enjoy some of the comedy stuff, but then the entertainment stuff, if it's, it goes one way or the other. It can be too much of either, and I need that blend to fully appreciate wrestling as a whole. And I think some people, like if you've been watching wrestling your whole life, you can watch a match from start to finish that has no build up, no story, and go, that was a great match. And that's going to impact somebody who doesn't watch wrestling differently if you don't understand the psychology. Does that make sense?
Yes. I'm going to argue a little bit of that. Okay,
Sure.
You can have the best match in the world. I'm going to appreciate it. I'm not saying you. I'm saying wrestlers today. I need storylines. If anybody's telling you wrestling to watch and they're not starting you off May 27th, 1996. May 20th, 1996. My birthday. May 27th, 1996. When Scott Hall appeared on WCW, everything turned around. That's the era you need to watch. I don't care what anybody else says today. When you watch it, if you haven't watched it, you will be hooked. The storyline, the realism, the promos, the jumping ship and I'm not talking just WCW. Go WCW, Raw. Nitro, Raw. You'll be hooked. You think you're hooked now? You have no idea. And that's what killed me when you said you were explaining the Jericho and Omega, and you've only been in the industry for 3 years, and you understand that. People today don't understand that. So that's amazing. Where did the Jericho come from? Sorry, we got to move on.
That's okay. That's okay.
This is about you, not him. Where did your character come from? How did it spring about?
So I'm still doing a bit of I'm fleshing out things a little bit still. I actually got hurt. Tore my ACL.
Yeah.
Had a bunch of surgeries. Got back in the ring for like 3 weeks or something stupid. Get the ring rust off. Get ready for some bookings. And we're suddenly on lockdown in a pandemic. So I always joke that like literally the only good part about getting injured when you're a wrestler is your comeback. That's it. That's the only good thing about it. And that got completely stolen from me. So now it's just like elongated this block of time from when I've been in a ring to when I'm, going to be able to come back, which sucks. But I haven't had as much of an opportunity to develop my character and truly flesh it out as I wanted. But I think that a lot of it is just driven from my personality. I think that a lot of people who know me know that I can be a lot sometimes.
Me too.
Which in the entertainment industry, that's not necessarily a bad thing. So just trying to become comfortable in a ring as myself, or like a sort of glorified or amplified version of myself, is the goal for now. And just kind of we're just working on that and making sure that I'm properly sort of communicating what I'm trying to get across, because it's hard. It's hard to be able to do that, especially when you factor in experience and nerves and, just the knowledge of the industry or lack thereof or whatever. So, day by day.
Yeah, 100%. And you can't be scared to fail, right?
Yeah.
You gotta see what works and what doesn't. And that's what determines the great people from the mediocre people, right? And it's people that keep trying new stuff. Oh my God, am I really going back to him again? Jericho has
my guy.
And Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt has reinvented himself, and I get sucked in. There's not too many people I get sucked into today. He is one of those characters I get sucked into the TV. And you got to see what works. And I love that you're expanding and you're working on ideas, because I'm excited. I'm a fan of you as much as I'm doing it.
Thank you.
And I can't wait till the world goes back to normal. We can have bookings again, and I do have a couple projects coming up, and I will be messaging you. I do. I'm trying to explode here. But Yeah, I love that. You're bringing new ideas to the table. You're seeing what doesn't. What do you prefer better, heel or face?
I prefer working heel. I feel like it's. I don't want to say it's easier because you're in control, but I feel like the nuances, the likability it takes to be a face. It sometimes comes off a little bit, I don't want to say fake when I do it. Maybe I'm just not there yet. Maybe I'm just not that nice. I don't really know. But like, it's a lot easier to get heat if you run out of things to say or you don't know what to do. You just tell somebody to shut up, or like, you know, it's a lot easier, and it's a lot easier of like a fallback if you don't know what to do or say in the moment. But when you sell more merch when you're a face. So I mean, I like both.
With baby faces, I guess children.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I'm more of a heel guy myself.
It depends.
Depending on the situation.
Yeah. It depends. There's nothing like it's like a really justified heel. You're like, I kind of get it. Kind of get why you're pissed off.
Right now on us.
What's that?
Can you turn heel on us on the next question?
I don't really think that's appropriate to ask me, is it?
I don't know. That's awesome. Can you tell us your plans or any? And don't get yourself in trouble. Don't give away anything. But any future plans, any projects you have working on that are coming up, or anything? Any details you can tell us about those?
Well,
that worked, by the way. But I'm going to give you that feedback. That worked. That worked. So you got it. Trust me.
You know, I want to. I don't want to say I want to like come back with vengeance, but I think that I was just gaining a bit of momentum when I got hurt, and it was really shitty timing. And I want to be able to come back and sort of reestablish the progress that I had made before, which is going to be hard because I've been out for a bit. So I'm just hoping to sort of gain some of that traction again, and work toward fleshing out my character and being somebody people enjoy watching. Because at the end of the day, like, I truly and genuinely enjoy entertaining people. It is so cool having people come up to you and say, I loved your match. And it's so cool having people come up to you and say, like, you were my favorite today. Like, what a cool thing to hear, especially so new to the industry and working with these girls that have dedicated a lot of their time to it. Like, what a cool thing, right? So that's mostly it for now. I think that's the focus, and then we're just gonna go from there.
That is awesome. I'll give you a little hint. If you're the first show back, the first one's coming out. The first people coming out when there's fans and the shows are back, the first two wrestlers, the first match on that card, they're getting the biggest pop.
Yeah, of course.
But I guarantee, right? That it's good. But either way, it's going to be the fans are going to be crazy all night.
Yeah. Good. There's going to be. I think there's going to be new appreciation to, like, I think that you get accustomed to things being a certain way. You get used to going to shows and having that option, and so many people are missing wrestling right now for whatever reason, whether it was, their entertainment, or if it was how they socialized, or whatever. Like, there's people's lifestyles have had to change due to all this, and not just in wrestling and everything, but even for like myself, I'm going from training several nights a week and being gone from Friday to Sunday for shows, whether they're my shows or they're my boyfriend's shows. He's a worker as well. To all of a sudden, it's just crickets. So I'm anxious to get back in the ring, and I'm anxious to see the people in the industry, because I've made so many great friends, and I've met so many cool people, and I just miss everyone. And quarantine sucks, everyone's just trying to get by. So hopefully it is sooner than later.
Well, I see it all coming into place. I mean, the numbers are down and stuff.
Yeah.
Do I say people are being cautious? No, I am a store manager in retail. Throw people right out of the store. There's days to throw people out of the store. Who's your boyfriend?
The Wavemaker, Kyle Boone.
Awesome. Let him know if he's going for an interview. I would love to have him on the show.
There he is. Oh, there he is in a Spider-Man shirt.
Awesome. How are you?
He said, how are you?
I'm good. How is he?
He said he's good. How is he?
How are the people?
And how are the people?
They're good. They're good. We got a flow in here. We're doing awesome.
There you go.
Well, anything else you can tell us coming up? Any goals you have? AEW, NXT, WWE. Where do you see yourself in the future? And I'll leave you off with that.
I want to do as much as I can, and I think that like, you know, this is it's the industry is fickle, but there's also a lot of opportunity, and there's a lot of different things available to a lot of different people. Somebody might have the best career of their life in AEW and then tank in the WWE, or vice versa. Or somebody might make a living, an actual living, working the indies, and it's a mashup of like lifestyle meets wants and goals and needs. And I think that at the end of the day, I just want to keep working and doing me and getting better. And hopefully, you know, just kind of see what happens. I want to go as far as I can and do as much as I can, and we'll just kind of ride the lightning, I guess. See what happens.
Don't ever change that mentality. That's the mentality. I'm the same way. My girlfriend keeps asking me, "You're doing more and more." Yeah, I want it all. If I can start interviewing sports people, I will. If I can start interviewing magicians, I will. I want it all. I just want it all.
Do it. That's it. You just got to go for it. Somebody's going to. I remember
if you don't ask.
Yeah, I remember when I was a kid, I was listening to some girl singing, and I was like, "Oh, she's not very good." And my dad's like, he looks at me and he's like, "So?" And I was like, "Well, what do you mean?" I was like, "I think I'm better than her." And he's like, "Who cares? Like, you're listening to her right now. She's not listening to you because she's out there putting the work in." And I was like, you know, and that kind of has sat with me. So I've tried to make an effort to put out the best product that I can right now, and it might not be, you know, what other girls are doing, or it might not be at the level that other girls are yet, but that is a lot more than sitting at home and you know, pointing finger at girls on the TV. So I just do your best. I know it's kind of after school special to say, but like that's all you can do, right?
Do your best, and be different, be your own character. I'll be honest with you. A lot of wrestlers. Last thing I'll rant about. They still I'll be honest with you. I can't stand the cutter. I cannot stand the cutter. For anybody listening in here that's a wrestler, do not do the cutter. Too many people do the cutter. I turn off the TV, even with AEW, and I'm a big fan. I love the Bucks. Everybody does the cutter. Cody Rhodes does not need to do the cutter. Do you know how angry I'm getting?
Okay. I feel like there's an accessibility of a cutter though, and you can do them out of nowhere. That's why it's such a great finish. Yeah, first of all,
it's killing the move.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I can understand that.
Yes, some moves should be sacred, and that definitely was one of them.
Well, some would argue the same thing about super kicks, though.
I was just about to argue that with you. Same thing.
Since we're talking about the Young Bucks.
Young Bucks. That's it.
Yeah.
The only thing we do it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And Adam Cole, because I'm a fanboy for Adam Cole. 100%. So, any plans for tonight? Last thing I'll ask you.
I'm going to get smoked brisket, and I'm super hyped on this because for anybody that knows me, that's like my favorite food in the world. And they don't have it in London. It's like not a thing here, but there's this restaurant, and it's got smoked brisket as like a special tonight, and I am hyped. Like, I'm so excited. So like, yeah.
The restaurant called?
It's called Milos's. It's like a craft beer place, but this is a little bit sad, but also I'm going to share this story. So I like smoked brisket so much that this was posted as like a special yesterday. And I saw it on their Instagram. It was like midnight, and I was devastated. I was like, "Oh my God, I missed the brisket." And Kyle's like, "Are you okay?" Like this is like traumatic to me because I haven't been looking and I haven't found it anywhere in London. He messages them. He messages their Instagram. Is like, "Hey man, listen, my girlfriend's a psycho, and I think she's gonna cry. And can you just if you have extra, I'll come pick it up. Like, I'm trying to prevent a meltdown here." So they messaged him back today, and they were like, "Good news, buddy. It's a 2-day special." So he's like, "Guess what?" And I was like, "Oh my God." So yeah, I'm going to get brisket. That's
my girlfriend's exactly the same. Vinegar chips, it's over.
Yeah. I mean, the girls got to eat.
It's crazy, man. But anyways, I want to thank you so much. I am looking forward to your return, and everybody else is. I can't wait to watch you guys live. Check her out, guys. I know Shiloh. She is on Instagram. Are you on Twitter?
Yeah. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Pro Wrestling Tees. My shirts are pretty much the most stylish thing you could possibly wear. So
check out Pro Wrestling Tees at Shiloh. Check us out at Pro Wrestling Tees, The Degenerates. And thank you so much, guys. Follow her on Instagram. She's incredible. Future plans are coming. You don't want to miss it. Thank you, Shiloh. Have a great night. Enjoy your brisket.
I will. Thanks for having me. Bye, guys.
Thank you. Bye. Oh, you got to end it. I can't end it.
Okay.
Save it on IGTV. Please post it.
I will.
Thank you.